Okay, I know we have a lot of new coaches on, which is exciting. So this is our team call, and our next one will not be until March 15th. So not next week, but the week after. And then we actually will have one the 29th as well. We have like a triple Wednesday call time for March. So because February was a small month. Okay, so tonight is those of y'all who were pushing for Emerald or different ranks or anything like that, tonight is the night to make it happen, because every week starts over on Thursday morning as your new rank. So that's kind of when you wake up. Thursday is your new rank if you're pushing for that. So if you guys need help, make sure that you are talking to your upline or talking to me. I will be posting the March calendar after this. I just finished it, so I'll post this in the team page. And I have my big one on my desk right here, but I will post that. That kind of just lets you guys know how I'm running my month and when I'm going to do we are going to have a new sneak peek this month, so a new sneak peek into coaching. So those of you who are new coaches, you probably were viewing videos in one of our old ones, and we're going to make a new one this year or this month. And I will be doing a webinar, just like some of the other leaders have been doing that you've seen. So anybody who wants to hop on or invite people to that can also do that. And then there's just a couple other things on there. So in addition to that, it's the new month. So I hope that you guys are setting goals for yourself. I hope that you have, or at least are thinking about that, or if not, that you will think about it tonight. It's kind of cool that we have our team call the first of the month. That doesn't happen very often. So, as you are moving forward in your business, you have to have goals for yourself to move forward and to help more people and everything, but you can still have goals and you can have a lot of, excitement and joy behind them. It doesn't have to feel like you're constantly just pounding the pavement trying to get to the next thing, there's just to keep you moving forward. So a good way to do that is to think about, how many people you want to help every single month. That looks like your Success Club points. How many new coaches you want to bring onto your team. If you want to go Emerald, maybe you want to bring on 2 new coaches, or those of you guys who are much further along, how many coaches do you want to bring onto your team and to this awesome community? So be thinking about your goals, writing them down, giving yourself some deadlines and times to make them. And if you need help being held accountable, you can always reach out to me or to your upline coach if it's not me. And I think that's about it. So we also will be having a new coach call coming up next week. That's going to be on March 6th. So those of you guys who are new coaches who are on here, or maybe just newer coaches, whether you're mine or you are sponsored by another coach, on March 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll have about an hour call that you guys can hop on, and I'll make sure you guys are going good on your new coach journey. I'm sure everybody will be in different places, but it's kind of a good time just to get all the information, and I like to host it for the whole team, just in case you need extra help. So that's another date to have on your calendar. Let's see. I think that's about it as far as announcements and things go. So tonight I asked for Jenny and Jesse. If you guys don't know who they are, Jenny and Jesse are 2 of my leaders on our team. Jesse's been a coach with me since the very beginning almost of when I was a coach, and Jenny not long after, and they both have grown really successful teams of their own and have their coaches on here as well, and it's been really cool to see them grow. So one of the awesome things that they were able to do was earn their way to this new leader conference that we were just at in Los Angeles. So it was kind of cool. Normally I would not be there because I was an attendee last year, but because I was getting to speak, it was really cool to be there at the same time as them. So I got to, congratulate them and learn everything that they were learning. And, it's really cool to get to events like this. It's really cool, whether it's a Super Saturday or Summit, or conferences like this and retreats like this where you earn your way there. It's so important for your business. It's really cool to be surrounded by other coaches that you don't know, by other coaches who are greater than you and teaching you, awesome things that they've done and mistakes that they've made and things that they've learned along the way to help you in your business. And it's also really cool getting to meet like the corporate people, getting to see kind of what kind of company we work for. And that was something that even me, I've been a coach for like not even 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years now. And that's something that every time I get into a situation like that, I'm always blown away by the company that we work for. And it's so cool because it's not like they're just telling us what to do and they have no heart behind anything. They are seriously so incredible. Carl's our CEO, and you guys see videos of him, and you see the funny guy, his name's Michael, that does all the funny videos and trainings and stuff. And you get this kind of like view of them, but in person they are so heartfelt and so neat, and they have such an amazing heart for helping people and for what we do, and they love us, they love the coaches, and they love who we work with, and they so desperately want to make a difference in the world. And it gives me chills, and I know Jenny and Jesse felt the same thing being there. It's so neat to see that we work for such a neat company that is so tight-knit, and even though we have all these hundreds and thousands of teams, everybody's got one goal in mind, and that is to help other people just find fulfillment and find happiness through health and fitness, just like we all have. That's why we're all here. So very, very cool. But so I asked Jenny and Jesse to share a little bit with you guys of just kind of some of their takeaways. This was a leadership training. However, so much of it is valuable and can be takeaways for any rank of coach, even myself included. Even though I've heard some of this stuff before, it was like, wow, I really needed to hear that again. Even stuff about Shakeology and all kinds of things. So they're going to both just I'm going to let them take it away. I don't know if Jesse's on yet, but I'll let Jenny kind of start. And I just wanted them to kind of share with you guys, why they felt like it was important, why events are important and things like that, but more so just some of the big takeaways that they got from being at this event, because I think, you guys heard my speech and a couple other ones, and I actually have the list now of all the other ones if you guys want to hear any of the other speeches that were given. There was some on time management and some on Shakeology, some on just all kinds of different topics that you can totally mold for wherever you are in your business. So with that, I'm going to let Jenny take it away and kind of share some of her takeaways, and then we'll move to Jesse and kind of wrap it up with any questions you guys have, and everyone can end this Beachbody Week strong. Okay? All right, go ahead, Jen.
Okay, guys, I know there are a lot of new coaches on here, so I'm Jenny. And I am in Richmond, Virginia. I just got back from California last night. So it was so fun to be out there. Like Ashley mentioned, live events are a total game changer. If you've been to Summit, that's definitely a game changer. And then these smaller events, like the ones you have to qualify or even more so. Ashley has always said how our team is different, and I never really knew what she meant by that until I went to an event like this, because you do get to talk to people on other successful teams and hear about what they're doing and, their systems and their processes, and just seeing how our team is truly different. And when everybody, no one there really knows anybody, because, you go as a 2-star and above diamond, and most likely you don't have people there from your team, or maybe you know one other person. And so everybody is talking to everybody and trying to get to know people and just learn. And so when people, ask, who's your coach? And try to get to know you a little bit. And I said, well, Ashley's I'm her PS coach. And then, Micah's in my upline as well. They were just like, wow, no wonder you're here, and no wonder you are where you are in your business after such a short time. And so I just want you guys to know that we are so lucky to have what we have in set in stone for us, and not set in stone, but the processes and the trainings and the resources that we already have. People get to this event and they're successful. They're a 2-star diamond, but in the big realm of, Beachbody, there's a lot more room to grow. And so for our team, I just see huge growth possibilities because of what we've been given. So I want you guys to remember that, and to not take for granted any of these resources and scripts and training videos, and push groups that we are given, because it's different than what other people are given, or frankly, they're not given from their upline and from their team. So I guess, my number one takeaway is to just take advantage of everything that we have here on our team. I think the first person to come on stage was Craig, Ashley's mentor. And he opened New Leader Conference by saying, what we're going to share with you this weekend really isn't all that different than things you've probably heard before. And so, again, I don't have like earth-shattering things to share with you, because everybody that spoke about the basics. Again, it was Ashley and Micah. And if you've done the trainings and if you learned their tips inside and out, that sticking with the basics is what is, over time, being consistent with it, is what is going to set you apart from people who are not consistent. So that was like a very overarching theme again and again. Keep it simple, stick with the basics, make yourself easily duplicated so that other people know that they can do what you're doing and that you have the resources to give to them to do it. So that was another huge theme, coming from, of course, our upline and also just corporate too. They recognize that it really is a simple process to go through. So as far as like these kind of more specific things, I know Ashley mentioned Melanie Mitro did a training on time management. And I think that no matter where you are in your business, time management, or just being mindful of your time and how intentional you are with your time, is super important. You could be a brand new coach that signed up 2 days ago, or be coaching for a few years and have similar frustrations. So Melanie opened with, okay, imagine, somebody that you love. You get to them at the end of the day and you want to tell them a story about what happened during your day. And when you start to talk to that person, their nose is in their phone or in their laptop. And they may look up at you once or twice and kind of nod their head and, give signals that they're listening, but you can tell they're really not listening, and they don't respond accordingly. And she said, self-admittedly, I was there a few years ago, working my business. We talk so much about, hustling and working in the cracks and multitasking and doing all these things. But your business will not serve you unless you find a way to serve your business and then get on with your life, basically. So Melanie Mitro, if you haven't looked over her YouTube, I find some of her stuff very helpful and specific, but she is very, very consistent, and also very diligent with her time. Setting your priorities, make a physical list of your top 5 priorities in your life. Beachbody may or may not be one of them. If you're, serious about building your business, it probably is one of them to some extent. And say no to the things that don't align with those priorities that you've written out. And really that is going to be the best way to make sure that you are doing activities that align with your priorities. Thinking about setting your work hours. Now, I used to set my work hours before a baby, and now it's more so like an hour here, 30 minutes here when I can. But regardless of when I actually do it, when I am in that time, I am focused on those specific activities that I know. You should be going into your power hour with a to-do list ready to go. Whether your to-do list is simply printing out your tracker, or if it's specific tasks that you need to get done that day, like opening up your challenge group or scheduling posts or something like that. Know what you're going to do so you can maximize your time. Ashley's talked about this before, setting a timer for certain tasks, spend 5 minutes adding new people to your network. And then I guess this is more so for the people who are, emerald and above and starting to have coaches below you. 80%, if not more, of your time should be spent on your own business, and 20% on your team. So don't get stuck in management mode. And I've been guilty of it, and I know lots of leaders have, but you need to work on your business first. Melanie gave a good tip, and I need to do this too. Work on your business first thing with whatever time you have to work on your business. Work on your power hour, and then whatever time you have left is your team time. So scheduling in all of that. So time management is a huge thing. And I just want you guys to remember that. The reason I thought that this was a good takeaway is because it's always something to be conscious of. I'm very conscious not to be nose in my phone, when my husband gets home from work late, when Haley is awake and I'm playing, with the baby, unless I'm taking pictures of her, of course, and my phone is out. But, working in the cracks, and working with the time that you have, but also making sure that your energy is still saved for those who matter most to you. And I think that that's a huge reason that people end up quitting this business. And I don't want to ever hear from anyone that that's the reason that they quit, because there is a way to make it balanced, and there is a way to go all in with coaching when you're doing your coaching tasks, and then be all in for your family, or for whoever your loved ones are. So that was a big takeaway for me. It's something I always try to remember, and so I hope it is for you as well. Ashley touched on Shakeology a little. Darren O'Lean, the co-creator of Shakeology, did a presentation. I took a bunch of pictures of his slides because they were really good. I tried to record it, but I didn't have enough room on my phone. So if Ashley has the recording, I think she posted it. But you guys, yes, thank you, Ashley. She just posted the Shakeology link. But as you probably know, from us getting an extra Success Club point for Shakeology on Home Direct, and the slides, I have them all. Or no, I think they're going to actually share the slides with us. We'll see. Yeah, but knowing about Shakeology is so, so big. And I myself, have it on my to-do list to learn more about Shakeology, because we all know, we love it, and you can definitely describe why you love it. And you don't need to know the ins and outs of the science behind it, but you do need to know that it's more than just a protein shake. There's nothing artificial in it. It's non-GMO. It's not a magic pill. You need to be more comfortable with sharing it. And I need to be more comfortable with sharing it. And so that's one of the things that listening to Darren really reminded me of, to build the value. Raise your hand. How many people in the past 2 months have only gotten the Beachbody on demand, no challenge pack? Just the Beachbody on demand. I just want the 12 months. I don't want to do Shakeology. And as we know, we're not giving them the full package when they do that. And, some people are going to just want to do that, and that is fine. It's going to happen. But we know, because we've all gotten challenge packs and experienced what Shakeology's done for us, that we need to be sharing more stories and telling what it's done for us, and really just sharing the value. So one thing I wanted to share with you guys really quickly, I'm just going to show it. I'm not really going to go through it, and I'll also put the link in our chat, I just learned about this. So this was a huge takeaway for me. Hello, where have I been with this? 3 steps to share Shakeology guide. And so as a new coach, you may or may not have seen this. I don't think it was out when I started. And it goes through an activity of helping you find your way to share it. How's your experience? What's your story? What's your favorite recipe? What does it do for you? What are your benefits? It gives you some good videos, which I know we all like to use. There's podcasts on this. And then it gives you just some like quick reference. Again, you do not need to know the science and the specifics behind everything, but it is nice to have these in your back pocket, especially if somebody is super skeptical like I was and starts asking questions. You want to make sure that you're confident in it. So this is a really good, it's just a 2-pager, and it's in the back office, and I will.
Yeah, you guys, that is so huge because we did not have that when I was a new coach either. And same with Jenny. This is like brand new. So that is really big. So all of you guys who are new coaches or newer coaches in the last like 6 months, this is awesome because this is not something that we had. And I think, you know, that's where we always tell you guys, like, start with your story, because when you speak from experience, it helps so much to sell anybody on anything. You know, the whole part of being a coach is sharing your story and your journey and your experience with all of these programs and products, so that it doesn't even seem like you're having to sell them. It's just people trust you and they see what your benefits are. So this is a really, really awesome tool, and Jenny just posted it though. But definitely do not get off this call without saving that link, and we'll post it in the team page too. But that should be something that if you have already been drinking Shakeology, you need to put that on your homework list tonight to go ahead and start filling out, so that when you have somebody asking you about Shakeology, and I still have problems sharing Shakeology sometimes, you know, because you just kind of get into this like word jumble of what you're trying to say. And so this kind of thing helps a lot, just to start with your story, start with how it has impacted you. Tell a little bit about it. It's not just a protein shake. It's actually look at all this other stuff that you get out of it. These are the benefits that I'm seeing. So it just kind of lays it out for you guys that are more visual. But okay, just had to chime in.
Thank you. I don't have much else to share, except one quick thing about, there was a presentation on the power of your income in this business and the potential of it. And he's talked about something that's a freedom number. And so I just want you guys to think about, like, you know, what would a freedom number be for you? What would it mean to be able to, you know, pay your mortgage with Beachbody, or you know, I'm trying to look at some of the other things, but we all know that money is not everything, but the freedom that money in this business can bring can change your time with your family, and change really just your life and the amount of freedom that you have. So I want you to be thinking about that. And I really love this quote: "You will not be successful unless you become a better person. Not many jobs have that requirement." And that was actually like by the Financial Guy, which was really funny because I'm like, he's speaking about all the finances, and then he says this quote that I really liked, and it really is true. And like Ashley mentioned, the corporate guys and women, but most of the top ones are men, but they really, really want all of us, coach, challenger, whoever you are, if you're associated with Beachbody, they want you to become a better person. And so to be successful in this, whether it's being a successful challenger or being a successful coach or somewhere in the middle, you have to become a better person. And that is our job requirement, which again, not many jobs can say that. So that is why we have such a gift to share with everybody. And definitely being at a conference like this or an event, summit, it always helps me to want to share my journey more unapologetically and not feel like, oh, do they even want to know more information about coaching, or do they even want to be in my challenge group? Like, coming out of this conference, I was just like, hey, you want to like about my challenge group, just messaging like crazy, because it just boosts your confidence and your belief in what you're doing. So getting to any kind of events like this, whether it's just a super Saturday, it really, really helps you to move your business forward, and it helps you get out of maybe a rut or a stagnant point if you find yourself being at them at times, which I think we all do. So that's my plug for getting into any event that you possibly can get your hands on. So Ashley posted the freedom number income video in the chat too. So again, I think they're all in that Google Drive, but those are My kind of takeaways, if you guys are writing, I see some of you writing some things, good books that I heard about that I didn't know that I need to read. If you want to write these down, Good to Great. Jeff Hill had a really, really awesome presentation of all centered around that book, Good to Great. I don't know the authors of any of these, but I'm sure you can Google them. Relentless is another one. It's Not About You. So if you're wanting to learn about, growing, or if you're wanting to help yourself grow your team, or even, pour into your challengers, It's Not About You, I guess is a good one for that. And then I didn't know, Darren has a book, Darren Oline, the co-creator of Shakeology, called Super Life. And so
Relentless is really good for those of y'all who need like a swift kick in the booty.
Which one?
Relentless.
Oh yeah, and Grit was the other good one that I haven't read yet.
Yeah. It's funny because Spencer actually got that for work too, so he's about to start reading that. And I was like, oh, "You're reading that book? It's so good." So it's really good. It's good to listen to too. I listen to it.
Cool. And that's about it.
Awesome. Let's see if Jessie has anything else to say after all that. Thank you so much, Jenny. So this is Jessie down here at the bottom. I think you unmuted yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is Jessie. Jessie, introduce yourself and say a little something about you. She's another leader of ours on the Inspiration Crew.
I'm Jessie Meglio. So I've been coaching for 2 years, and I was with them this weekend. So first, I want to start off, like Jenny talked about, being at a convention like this was amazing. But when you're sitting out there, and we had 2 of the guest speakers as our leaders, it was honestly one of the things that I think motivated me so much, but it also showed us we have the best people leading us. Like, we have the best people standing up there talking. These Power Hour, the new one that Ashley put together for us, she shared that, and I literally, while she's up there talking, she's sharing this with everyone, and everyone could not wait to get it. Like, I had girls next to me who knew I was Ashley's coach asking, "Can you send me the PDF right away?" So I first just want to say, like, take advantage of what we have, because this Power Hour is awesome. And on other teams, you don't have this stuff. You don't have the training that we have and all the learning that you get with our team. So don't try to reinvent stuff. Use what's here because it works. And sometimes we forget because we're seeing the same coach all the time, and we get so used to them that we forget they have awesome information that they're sharing, and it's working. So that was one of my first takeaways. I just thought it was really awesome to be sitting there and knowing, like, we have Ashley as our coach and Micah, and a lot of people have never even gotten a chance to really hear them speak, and we do every single day. With that, also how she mentioned community, getting to events, you guys, if it is just a Super Saturday or getting together if you have girls in your area, it's going to change your entire outlook, even if you feel like you're failing. There were girls at this convention who said, they didn't even feel like they should be there because there's people so much further than them. But everybody, no matter anyone who got there, it was awesome to be there, and you deserve to be there. You got to learn and soak everything in. And all of you guys have the chance to be there next year. Everyone on this call, whether you're a brand new coach or a coach that has been coaching a while and struggling, you can get to the conference. And you learn information. You sit in these conferences. I had put up a post one of the days that I had said, I never thought that I'd be on a Saturday sitting in conferences all day long where I was so interested in it. I loved learning about it. I was there and I was smiling and taking notes and totally engaged, where most jobs you don't get that. You're going to a conference and you're like, damn, I have to sit in these boring conferences, and you're playing on your phone and doing other things. Like, I was not doing any of that. My entire time I was taking notes. I was soaking it all in and just learning from everyone on the stage. So just remember, getting to these events, it's huge. It's going to change you. You're going to walk away, like Jenny said, wanting to send 100 invites because you feel so confident in what you're doing, and you're reminded why we all do this. When we're inviting to coaching into challenge groups and you feel like you're getting discouraged, you have to remember why we're doing this. And one of the things for me that I really hit home with me was when Doug Moss got up on stage. I had met him at Micah's retreat, but I never really knew his story. He just talked about elite at that retreat. So I met him and, just looked at him as like the business guy. And he got up on stage and he had pulled up pictures of how he used to look. But when he pulled those pictures up, he got extremely emotional and he started to cry and said the reason that, he loves this business is because of us as coaches, because of what we do. And he said, I needed you guys. I'm the person that needed you. He told his story, how he used to be really overweight and he'd get on airplanes and have to ask for the extender for the seatbelt. And he would be at Disney World and go to get on a ride and wait in those long lines. And then when he got up there to get on the ride, he would start to, no, sorry. Oh, you can say hi. Chloe wants to say hi really fast. Hi. I was like, no. When he got up to the rides, he wouldn't be able to get on because he was too big and too overweight. So for me, hearing this guy that, I had heard him speak before, but I never knew his story. And I didn't even know that he had lost a ton of weight because he's a bigger guy. So it's not like, you look at him, you're like, oh, he's so in shape. He does Beachbody all the time. You just look at him and you learn from him. But to hear his story and see him, this grown man just crying up on stage and being so real with us and telling us, like, if it wasn't for people like us, he wouldn't be who he is today. He would be that same person that's stuck, not getting to go on rides with his family and not fitting in seats. And that's when I really realized that as coaches, when we're inviting, we have the power to completely change someone's life. And as annoying as we might feel sometimes, following up and being like, oh, well, this person's ignoring me, or I sent so many invites. You're going to get those people that eventually do need your help. And they're going to eventually say yes because you keep being consistent and staying there for them. And sometimes it takes a ton of invites. Sometimes you're inviting them for an entire year, every single month, following up with them. But at the end of the day, when they do get in that group, it's up to you really as a coach to remember why you are here. You get them in that group and they're not just another number, but you have to fully invest in them because just signing up and having these products, the products work. But a lot of times the products don't work if you don't have a coach that's helping you through it because they can't do it on their own. And they need you to follow up. They need you to check in with them and to stay consistent. So one of the things, I just thought it was so awesome that this guy, you don't see guys, I think, as much, or at least I don't, like get up there and be so passionate about something. And the way he spoke of coaches, it's like he put us on such a pedestal and really just thinks the world of what we're doing. And that's something that we have to remember as coaches every single day is we're there to change lives. So keep inviting and keep sharing your journey because it's going to change lives over and over. And if your newsfeed feels like it's all Beachbody coaches or all people working out, or your Instagram feels that way, it's because of the hashtags that we're using. It's because we're in a community surrounded by tons of Beachbody coaches and tons of women working out. But if you ever look around when you go out in the real world and you're at school events or at your real jobs or wherever you're at, just going to the grocery store, look around and see how many people are overweight right now. And that is always something I think about when I'm in the stores and look around. It's not all people that are in shape and working out and feeling their best. They're just people that are all struggling and probably could use your help. So even though sometimes I know it starts to feel like, gosh, everyone does Beachbody and everybody works out, it's not that way. There are huge amounts of people that do not. And when he talked about, when they talked about Shakeology, I had heard Darren, I had met him at like my first summit, but I was new to coaching, had no idea really who he was other than the Shakeology guy. And so I like got my picture with him. He talked a little, but that was kind of the extent of what I learned. So this weekend to see him up on stage and just hear him talk about Shakeology was amazing. One of the things, I'm going to pull it up. He had said, like, what do you say to someone when they, like, what is Shakeology? And I was thinking in my head, well, like, if someone said, what's Shakeology? I would be like a full meal replacement because that's what it is, right? And he had said it's a delivery system of some of the greatest botanicals and hard to find superfoods, high quality and tested ingredients. When he said that, I sat in there thinking to myself, like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. Because when I just say, oh, it's a meal replacement, how many meal replacements are out in the stores? You can go and buy a meal replacement in any grocery store, you know, and that's what people think it is. So if you're not knowing Shakeology and you're not knowing how to speak about it or the process of it, when you guys see the slides, I think they said they're going to share them. There's one slide that shows the process of how what the ingredients all have to go through to get put in this shake. And hearing all of that really made me find a whole new passion and made me realize, like, I don't know Shakeology as well as I thought, because I drink it every day. It's delicious. And I do know it's changing me, but it's so much more. And when I talk to people about it, I say it's just a meal replacement, and it's not. And if you hear him like just speak his words about it, you realize, like, okay, if I was on the other end of that conversation, I would be like, okay, this is why it's different. Because when I say it's just a meal replacement, I'm comparing it to every other meal replacement out there. I'm not saying it's better. And one of the things that I didn't know was he had said when they were doing tests, he would get it back and then he would test stuff again, and it would still have like added crap into it. And he would get in like an argument with whoever the person was, you know, and tell them, like, I said I didn't want this stuff. Like, I don't want any added coloring or crap in it. Like, he wanted it all right and healthy. And people would tell him, like, well, no, USA standards allow a certain amount of this. And I don't know if you guys know, but the labels, I think it's like 20% or something on labels that are allowed to be wrong. They don't have to be right. Like, you can be off like a 20% margin on food labels. When he created Shakeology, he told them, because he was finding out, like, hey, they're allowing this stuff because it's US standards, he ended up coming up with his own standards and said that he wants it a certain way because he wants it that clean for us. And for us, you guys, that's huge, because that's something I've never shared about. I've never said that ours is better than the US standards, and it is. And he's working, and they spend tons of money going in and researching and finding the best stuff all around the world for us. But then they also make sure that when it's going into the shake, that it's being factored the right way and that it's not filled with crap. So know your Shakeology, learn it. I know Jenny just talked about it. This is what the book looks like. And I had actually never read it. And then I started reading this book on the plane, and it's an awesome book. I'm not like all the way through or anything, but I read 3 hours of it. So I'm a decent way through it. And it's all about nutrition and just how messed up the food system is. He talks about in it how cancer and heart disease are two of the highest diseases in the US, yet we have the best medical care here, and we struggle with those two things at the highest. And in other countries, those don't even exist. Those problems, there isn't cancer and there's not heart disease in some of these other countries. And when I was reading that in the book, I started thinking to myself, like, it's crazy, because I know I have tons and tons of friends that I have watched lose parents. And I have had so many people, I feel like, that end up getting cancer, and you're like, where's it all coming from? And to just start reading this book and really start thinking about how messed up like our food administration is, and we have something that can help prevent this. It's not going to be a quick fix. It's not going to be something that, you know, just changes someone the first month they're just healthy. But if they're drinking it every day over and over, it's going to make them healthier. And in your challenge groups, you need to make sure you're sharing about Shakeology, not just, here's my shake, I made a chocolate shake, I love Shakeology, but why do you love it? Know what's in it. Talk to them about it and research it and go into it and let them know, like, this is so much bigger than just a shake. It's so much bigger than just a meal replacement, because that is going to, I think, change your business a ton, but also really get people to understand what's in it. Because I know a lot of you, probably myself included, have said, it's just a meal replacement. And it's so much more than that. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, they had us on like the last day, they had us write a word on our hand. And mine was purpose. But we all each had different words, and every leader during the weekend and anyone that spoke on the stage had to say like what their word was. And then the last day they had all of us do it. So we all wrote it and got our pictures with it on our hands and permanent marker. But one of the things that I thought was really cool is when we're sharing about Beachbody and when you're coaching, we always think about like the fitness part and the health part. And those are the things that we're sharing about so much. And, you know, running challenge groups about that. And I think we sometimes forget, like, at the end of the day, if you had to pick one word that represented Beachbody and the community and the support and everything that goes into it as a coach, what would your word be? Because for me, mine was purpose. And the reason I picked that word was really because before I used to get out of bed and not have a purpose. I didn't have a purpose with the people I was friends with. I didn't have a purpose, I felt like, really in life. I was a mom, but I just went through my day every single day. And I have found a completely different purpose for my entire life. And it's my relationships with my family and my friends and the team. And it's all of that. So when I'm sharing, and whatever your word is, tie that into when you're sharing. Find your one word that really ties into Beachbody and start adding that into your stuff, because it's so much more than just being fitness and just being Shakeology and, you know, eating healthier. There is a whole, you know, word that's going to represent what it means to you. And the more that you can really stand behind that word, I think the easier it will be to share about everything you're doing. So I think that is basically it. And yeah, Shakeology. And just in general, being at the corporate office, I don't know if you saw any of the videos that we shared during the retreat, but or during the conference. Carl has a wall in the office that you walk down, and he wrote inspirational stuff all down this wall. So you go in and you walk down it, and it's how he comes in every single day. And for me, just standing in that wall, I had gone live and I was sharing it and reading some of the stuff off of it. But how often do people have a CEO of a company that, you know, is this high up, that takes the time to write inspirational things on the wall for you to walk in and read every single day? I think majority of people outside of here wouldn't be able to say that they had that. And this company truly, truly cares about what they're doing. Not only do they have Shakeology at work, but they even have someone on the second floor that's there to make their Shakeology for them if they don't have time before a meeting, because they want their employees healthy. They want them to be living their best life. And it's not just about making money, but it's about everyone living healthier. And they really care about what we're doing. They care about us as coaches and helping us grow. Even with that new little policy they put into place, that is to protect us and really just help us. And at the end of the day, that's what this company wants. And even Jeff Hill, he got on stage and he started to get emotional when he was talking up there. And I just loved that. I think honestly, one of the biggest takeaways was that I saw these grown men up there get emotional. And it shows how much heart and passion is behind what they're doing and how much they believe in this and believe in where we can go all together as a company. They don't just look at us as, you know, someone to make them money, but they want us to live our best life. And we're able to do that if you really just invest in your journey. And Ashley says all the time, keep your Facebook like a journal. Share about it in your everyday life and tie it in, because it really is so much more than just lose weight or just sign up for Shakeology or just another challenge pack sale. We really get to change lives and we get to do it all together. So soak in the community and the friendships. And when you're struggling, reach out to people on the team, because being at the NLC this weekend, you got to walk around and talk to people. I talked to different girls on different teams. It's not like, oh, well, you're on this team, so you're better than me, or you're here. Everyone talks to everyone, and everyone is ready to learn and say, oh, well, this works for me, or this is what I found interesting, or, oh, who's your upline? Everyone gets to know everyone. And that's what this whole community is about, is accepting everyone for who they are and just loving each other. And to be have a weekend to just soak all that in, you walk away just feeling so different. And I know my last night, I stayed in LA till Monday morning. And I watched the Oscars or the Grammys or whatever that is, because my friend in LA wanted to watch it. But I was sitting there watching it after I just had this weekend filled with like so much leadership and love and just people wanting to like change the world and make it better. And I sat there watching the show with these people, and I was, just in this room thinking in my head, like, how different my life is. I don't sit and watch TV anymore because you guys, we can turn the TV off and do something so much better than that. We don't have to sit there and watch like people making fun of each other on a screen for fun and, just bringing so much. I thought, in my opinion, I don't typically watch them, but it was just, to me, so negative from what I just went from. I went from like, yes, we can change the world, to like, okay, this world's not very nice. So just really invest in your own journey and enjoy the community. Soak it in. When you're feeling down, reach out to coaches, because whether we're your coach or we're just on your team, we're all here to help you guys succeed. And the only way you can fail is if you give up. But if you want this and you want to grow, it's going to change your life. And I know me and Jenny can both say being able to stay home with our kids is something that's truly been the biggest blessing. But there's, whether you want to be full-time or not, you can do it. And you just have to believe in yourself and lean on the team and know this community is going to change your life. So give it time, let it happen, because you guys all want to get to the NLC and you want to keep building so that you're soaking in all of these awesome people with information and things that you're going to love to hear. That's it.
Bam, drop the mic, Jessie. I love, my heart's like racing. I'm like, yes, preach it. No, seriously. Okay, well, I hope that you guys really enjoyed hearing, some of their takeaways. Sometimes I feel like I'm the one always talking at y'all, so it's nice to have them kind of chime in here and give some of their takeaways, especially because I was having to be behind the scenes a little bit more than they were. So I want to kind of skim through a couple things and kind of give you guys some homework, like some takeaway things really quickly. So number one, I want for y'all to think about what is the next event that you can get to in your area. For most of y'all, that's going to be Super Saturday. So new coaches, if you don't know what that is, there is every quarter, there's a big event in your area. So if you go into your back office and you check out the event page, you'll see where the nearest location is that other Beachbody coaches are gathering. That's what I would encourage you guys to do if you don't have anything else. If you guys have never been to Summit, and that's the next thing that you can get to, put that on your list. Summit is life-changing. My very first Summit, I think it was like 5 of us there: Jessie, Laura, Jenny, Rachel and I. We didn't even know each other, and we shared a room with our hubbies, and we were both so pregnant. And it's such a good time, and it's like, I can't even explain the feeling when you walk into this, really like you take over the city. And you see literally just people in workout gear everywhere. And it's just the neatest thing. You just get chills. And I cry like the whole weekend because it just makes me so emotional. So it's really, really life-changing. But that's my first homework assignment for you, is to figure out what kind of event can you get to next. Whether that's a Super Saturday or something bigger like Summit. Put a goal like this to be a 2-star diamond by the end of this year. In December is like when the cutoff is. At the very end of this year, to go to this conference in January of next year. So those are just some good ideas. Okay, the second thing I want for you guys to think about, Jenny, what Jenny talked about, balance in your business is so huge, you guys. That is one of the biggest things. Like she said, I get so many coaches who will quit or take a step back or just get really overwhelmed because there's 2 different sides to it. While you can get so excited about what you're doing and want to just work 24/7, I get it. I'm a workaholic and I would work all day long if I could. But I have a family and I have kids, almost 2 kids. And, it's very, very important for you to balance your time. And that's when those of you guys who have husbands and boyfriends and fiancés and stuff, letting them into what you're doing, let them know how important this is to you. Let them know what is it that you're doing. You're not just posting on social media. You're not just working out, but there's so much heart and so much community and relationship behind it. So I want for you to think about that. If you're feeling like this sense of imbalance in your life right now, I want for you to kind of just reflect and figure out, what can I do to kind of create some better balance for me, for my zest for the business, but also for me being, the family person that I need to be too. And if you just don't know what that looks like or you need help, please ask one of us, me, some of the other leaders. We're more than happy to kind of give you guys our take on that, especially Jenny and Jesse, because they have both brought themselves home full-time from their full-time jobs that they had before, full-time coaches and moms now. So we would love to give you guys some ideas. Okay, also just a tip about the videos. So I did post that whole entire document of all the YouTube links and stuff. Some of those of you guys are newer coaches, they don't apply to you. You don't need to read, you don't need to watch those yet. So some of the ones that I more specifically put out there, the ones on time management, the ones that are like testimonials, both of my speeches can be for newer coaches. The Shakeology one. So we gave you guys a couple different ones, but there's some on Elite and a bunch of other things that you don't even need to watch, because you're just going to come back to us and go, oh my God, what is that? So don't overwhelm yourself. Just making sure you guys know. Okay, the next thing I want for you to do, it would be really awesome for you guys to check out the Freedom Number video. It's something like something residual income. I can't remember what it says. It's the video that I posted in our little chat. But it's, while this business is so not about making money, we're so not about that, especially on our team. Our team primarily has been comprised of girls who were just looking for community and looking for accountability and a place to hold themselves accountable, but then just found this whole entire family of girlfriends along the way, which just makes it so cool. So while money is not the main factor, it's nothing to hang your head about either. You all have to provide for your family. You all have to bring something home. And so while we're spending money every month on our own fitness journey, it is important for you to make money. So if that's something that's kind of a driving factor for you, I encourage you to watch that video and kind of look at the little tracker that they give you to use. And that's something that you can always reach out to myself or to your upline coach, whoever your diamond coach is. And we would love to help you kind of get that idea in your head. It's fun to have a goal to work for too, because that's also rewarding and a driving factor for some people. Okay. And I think one of the last things I wanted to touch on too is also something that Jenny said about her quote. She reminded you guys of that quote that she heard, that you will not be successful until you become a better person. I think that all of us coming away from this conference really felt that sense of, wow, we work for such a cool company. We have such a cool job, whether it's a hobby thing that you do on the side, whether you're just getting into coaching, or whether it's your full-time job like it is for me. It's something so rewarding to be surrounded by truly uplifting and positive people every single day. And if you guys didn't listen to my speech, my very first one that I gave, coaching in this community has changed everything about who I was as a person. I was so negative and just not a happy person, and very nitpicky and just not joyful. And coaching has brought such a huge change into my life and made me a better mom, and definitely a better wife and a better friend, and found so many new things about myself that I just really never knew were even there, even possible. God's brought a lot out in my life because of it. So I want for you guys to remember that too. Coaching is so all about your journey and all about working on you. Never get away from that. Never get away from being a challenger from the very start, from working on you, from listening to personal development and doing your programs and just becoming the best you that you can be, because that's when you become the best coach and the best mom and the best wife and so many of the other roles that we so often, play in our life. So definitely remember that, that's such a gift. It's not a job. It's something that we get to offer to people as like this really awesome thing that's such a life change. So with that, the last thing I would love for you guys to do, besides checking out the Shakeology stuff, but you guys already know that, is I would love for you guys to think of a word. And I think I'm going to have the whole team do this and have everyone post a picture with it. We've done this a long time ago with a couple other things for like challenge groups and stuff, but I would love for you to think of one word. And it's what they kind of asked you to do, just like Jesse said, was one word that represented, why are you proud to be a part of Team Beachbody? Why are you proud to be a coach? Why are you proud to be a part of this community? And so that, there were words like joy and purpose, and mine was belief. Before this, I was so self-critical. I never thought that I could do anything outside of what I just thought I had to do. I thought I was going to teach and I was going to hate it. And I was just going to be in this position that I just didn't love my entire life. And, you know, coaching in this community has brought so much belief in myself, belief in other people, belief in just this company. You know, there's been so many great things that have come out of that. So I encourage you guys to think of one word that really represents what it is that you love so much about being a part of this community, why you love so much being a coach. So, and I'd love for you to share that. I'm going to make a post in the group probably tomorrow to give everybody some time, but I would love to hear what your word is, because I think that's really powerful to also be able to share and infuse into all of your posts, you know, in all caps, you know, share about it when you're sharing something motivational in the morning or whenever you're making your posts like that. So does anyone have any questions or any little bits or anything they need help with really quickly before we go? I want to take a picture. So before you guys all hop off, I want to take a picture. If you're on your phone, you can get off of your like no video thing. Do it really quickly so we can see your face for a picture. Y'all can share about it. Any questions? Also, I'm not drinking wine. This is kombucha, so don't judge me. I see people looking, I'm like, I look like I'm drinking wine. Okay, no questions or anything? Okay, sweet. Well, I will post this recording to those of y'all who this is your first team call. I know there's like 12 of you that this is your first call. I do post the recording. We'll post all the resources and stuff that we gave. So there was a lot in the chat. But thank you guys so much for being on. And I'm going to stop recording this really quickly.